Hey guys, welcome back to the Tukes and Tires YouTube channel. I'm Zach, and this week we're firing up this junkyard LS. Here we go. Hit it.
Hey, is that Timmy's?
Yeah, because we're in Canada, eh?
Alright, well, as you guys heard, we're going to try to fire up my motor today that I have for the Blazer, and sadly I couldn't get a Terminator ECU Holley system, so I found a really cheap deal on Facebook Marketplace. It's a Fitech, so we're going to be doing that. All my other LS swaps I've used Fitech systems, so I'm pretty familiar with them. I had just buy the extension harness because this isn't the whatchamacallit, this is only like the 50 and it's not the 1, so this ECU is without training controller, but I bought the sub harness. What, you want to look in the box? What's in there? Huh? But we're going to pull this harness out, check it out. I do have to change, it comes with 2 injector harnesses, and I'm going to change one just for the Multec 2 injector plugs. So I'm going to do that quick, and we're going to pull this out, check it out, show you guys what comes in the box. And then we'll get to pulling out my motor. Also, there's a whole bunch of other boxes over there. We're going to do an unboxing video of parts that I've also bought. So that video is going to be coming up. And I've been slaving away on bodywork. So if you guys are waiting for that, yeah, I hate bodywork. But we're going to pull this out of the box and see what it looks like. Okay, so you're going to get in the way? Okay. Alright, so when you first open your box, what you're going to find is, I had this neatly organized, but we were ruffling through it. There's injector plugs for, what's that, EV1, and then you have your EV6 plugs, but I think I'm going to chop up this one to make my harness, so this one we'll put aside. And then we have this thing, which I would never recommend putting this thing on your window if your vehicle sits out in heat. I had it in one before, and this rubber thing just started leaking everywhere down the window, so I wouldn't recommend it. It comes with this is for the little touchscreen that comes with it, and then there's a thing for the computer to plug the handheld into the computer if you want to do that. Little handheld, we'll get that out probably later. Then there's some stuff here for LS3, so like your cam sensors. And then there should be one here for, what is this for? Yeah, this is for the cam sensor, so basically you just put your cam sensor out front, so it's just a little extension harness. It has a map sensor to go into there, so there is going to be some customizing on the stock truck intake. There's also another air temperature sensor that I will show you guys later, and I'll probably put the part number down below that you'll have to get and drill into your factory truck intake. And yes, I'm going to use the stock intake because I've done that before and it works out pretty good. So then they also give you some stuff for your O2 sensor or whatever. If you can't weld it in, you can drill it in and put this jazz in there. ECU instructions, and then you know, Kat, you're really taking up space here on my table. No commentary? Okay. And then you got the bag with the harness in it. So I'll probably open this up when we get the motor out and stuff like that. But it's all pretty straightforward. It's all plug and play, so that's pretty nice. And then just a few simple things, type it into the handheld once we get the motor out, and it should be pretty good. But like I said, there's going to be some customizing on the intake that I have to do, and I'll show you guys that. So let's pull out the motor now and check it out. So I figured I'd show you guys before we pull the motor out just what I'm doing to this harness. I'm not saying that this will or will not void your warranty. I don't have one because I bought this used, but this is kind of what I did. So I had an old harness where it had like the old style injector plug on it, and basically took one of the sub harnesses that they have, chopped the plugs off, and then just soldered these leads onto this harness with the plug and everything. And if you're doing this, just remember that the orange on the Fitech is the power side, and then all the other ones are your neutral. And then on the GM side, it'd be your pink wire is your power, and then obviously the one with the black is your neutral. So there you go. So I'm gonna finish up this other harness, and then we're gonna pull out the engine. Yeah, it's pretty beautiful. All right, so we got the car moved out so we can get to our row of engines we got here. Some of them are just old small block Chevys, but we got 2 LS engines here. Dad's got a 4.8 there, and then I got a 6-liter here that I was saving for a project, but I feel like I'm just gonna end up using it in the Blazer. So we're gonna pull it out. It's on a ghetto shopping cart, but we'll get a probably a time lapse, maybe? I don't know. We'll just pull it out and I'll probably film it moving it, so. Okay guys, well we got the motor here to the front of the shop, and we got it on a really sketchy engine stand that we're gonna fire it up on. But we're doing some small things just before we're gonna go fire it up. I took the AC pump off. We changed out, I had another intake over there, and that had the return style injector lines on it, so we put that onto this one because this one was like a deadheaded system. I kind of like this better. So now what we're doing is right here, so you can see that it has like this like kind of crosshairs. I ground it off, and we're adding the vacuum line. So you can see here that controls this system. I got to change out the throttle body to a one that is a drive-by cable. And then the only other thing is then this sensor back here, we're gonna have to drill out that as well. So when we take the throttle body out, we're going to get a vacuum into where it goes to drill that out to put the Phytech sensor in. And then where this, I'm assuming this is something for the evap, that's where we're going to put that other sensor in. I'll go grab it and I'll show you guys once we're drilling. Okay, well you can see that now we got the throttle body off. And what we're doing is, because we like using these intakes because they're meant for a drive-by wire. So this is already plugged off here. So all you have to do is you basically, this 90 was on there before, we sliced it off, and now we're using like this, and it has that for the vent for the cover. The old man's here, he's just gonna start drilling her, just so we can tap it. There we go. So we're just gonna put a plug in there, and then I took out the valve for the evap. And this is the little sensor. I'll put a part number down below for this, but they come in like S10s. I think Cavaliers have them. So we just got to drill that out and make it fit in there. And then the Phytech comes with a new map sensor. So the old one is here, and we have this one. But all we got to do is bust one of the ears off here so that it will slide down in, and drill it out. And I think that's the last thing, and then we can try to fire it up, see if all our injectors stay, they don't leak. We got some other lines to block off, but I think we're going to be coming back to see if it fires up. Alright, so we got to a point where now we're going to see if it will turn over just before we hook the harness onto it. So give her a crack there, old man. Very nice, very nice. Alright, so now we can stick the harness onto it, and we'll see if it fires up. And we got to make a dummy fuel system. So, alright. Okay guys, well we were about ready to fire it up, but I had the exact same issue that had happened on Dad's truck and my truck on Gramps. So if you're ever doing this, obviously you get all your wires hooked up and whatnot, and then you go to plug your handheld in. what it should say when the starting screen starts up, it should say Ultimate LS on it, and it shouldn't say 170 or it's like 750 Ultimate LS. It shouldn't say that. It should just say Ultimate LS, and you know it'll be wrong because it'll say Go Shift Tuning and Go Shift whatever, right? So that's wrong. So they put the wrong software onto the handheld itself. So if you just try to go do anything, it's not going to work. So I'm going to walk you guys through on how to fix this. I'm a little rusty, so I'm going to have to look at the emails they sent me. Obviously my tunes and everything won't be the most up-to-date one, but it will work. So we're going to go hop onto a laptop, and I'm going to show you how to resolve this problem. So here we go. I'm glad this happened because I kind of wanted to show you guys this. Okay guys, well welcome to my room, and we're on the laptop. So I'll give you a gist of what what you have to do to get to this point. So I got in contact with somebody at Fitech. These files are also online, and you could probably get them from somebody in a forum. But so what I have here on the screen right now is the files that would be in the handheld for the correct software. So what we have to do is we have our handheld here. So we're going to plug the handheld in. So you can see when it started up there, it says this for Ultimate LS, whatever. So we're going to open up USB mass storage. And what it should do is it says this on the screen, and then your computer is going to process the device. And then we're going to go open file. And then you can see all this stuff in here. It looks the exactly the same, but it's not. So then we're going to just select all of this, and we're going to delete it. Yes, we want to delete it. So now that it's empty, we're going to take all these files, and you have to click all the files. You can't just select the file that these are in and try to drag it in there. It has to be just like this. And then we're going to transfer them over onto the handheld. Alright, so now that all the files are on the handheld, what we're going to do now is we're going to disconnect the handheld. So it's easier just for me to click it out of the USB. And then we're going to reconnect. And then the screen's going to pop up here, and it's going to say offline, all this stuff. You're going to click down and hold down on the joystick, and it's going to say flash erase. Okay, so we're just going to let it do its thing. It's going to count, and once this is done, then you've done everything you need to do on the computer, and we can go to the vehicle, or in my case, the bench. And we're going to, there's a couple more steps, but I'll tell you that once we get out there. So, also I couldn't tell you why this is upside down. Alright, so now you can see that it says Ultimate LS on there instead of what it said before. So now our handheld is perfect. So all we have to do now is go out to the bench like I said, and we'll do the rest of the steps. Alright, so now we've done all the setup on the computer and we're back in the vehicle. So what we're going to do now is we're going to plug this in. Bear with me here, I'm trying to film. So we'll plug it in, and then it should say Ultimate LS, right? And then what we're going to do is, come on here, we're going to go down to Display Setup, and then we're going to go to ECU Programmer, and it's right now it says Hidden, and we're going to switch that to Show. And then we're going to go OK. And then now you should be able to go to the bottom, and it should say, it has an extra thing in the row that says ECU Programmer. And then we're going to find one that fits our parameters, which I'm pretty sure it is 24x, and we're going to be running a 4L65, so we'll just click this one. And then what we'll do is we'll click it. And now it's going to be sending everything to the programmer. I don't know, press button to start. Okay, so we're obviously pressing it. No ECU response. Well, okay. Obviously, okay, so you have to have the key on for this. This is a good thing. Alright. Try again. There we go. So you have to have the key on and then you can press it, and when it's doing this, do not unplug it until it tells you to. So it's gonna load its thing. Now I think we can disconnect the handheld. I'm pretty sure that's what it's meaning now. So I'm just gonna disconnect this. And now your handheld, everything on here, it says 5Tech tuning, whatnot. Probably said that before. But now we should be able to go through and go through the initial setup, and then make sure that on every line that we send to ECU, and then cycle the key, which is obviously my wire, and then we should be ready to fire up. Alright, so we got all our wires on, we got the handheld all corrected up. There is other stuff we'll have to do that when the tranny goes on, but I'll show you guys that. But now we're going up for the first fire. We got some fuel in a bucket here, we got just like stuff kind of set up, so here we go.
Okay.
Yep. And we got a leaky rail, but that's okay.
Do we got fuel pressure there?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, here we go. We're gonna try it again. It was a little rough. Hey, that's all right. It's heating up. So we had to let the pressure out of the rail, so there was like some air in there, and it didn't want to fire up. We do have a little bit of a leaky rail over here, so I'm gonna have to swap out for one of the other ones I have. It started to sound pretty good. We're gonna have to check it for, if all cylinders are sparking. But this thing is sat for like I think at least 3 years here, and I never fired up when I got it. So that's all right. Also, it was a $300 6-liter, so my expectations weren't that high. But I'm pretty happy, fired up, so that's pretty awesome. But we're gonna throw an oil pressure gauge on it. Probably won't show you guys that because I don't know what kind of oil pressure it's got. Well, we got some bugs to work out, but I think that's all right. But thanks guys for watching. We'll catch you next time, and don't forget to salute the beaver.